me, it's Bradley and Mary. After I'm wearing, trying on my pants and talking for me. But it's stay for the tartan, and go for the tartan. It's time over the sky, you're gonna see. But it's Bradley and Mary. After I'm wearing, trying on my pants and talking for me. The maid on my pan and the tartan for me.
The water is wide, I cannot cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that'll carry two, and both shall row, my love and I. There is a ship, and she sails the sea. She is loaded deep, as deep can be, but not so deep as the love I live. I know not how I sink or swim. Oh, love is gentle and love is kind, the sweetest love when first it's new. But love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like morning dew. The water is wide, I cannot cross o'er, and neither have I wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry two, and both shall row, my love and I.
The Highland clearances. Even today, the phrase hangs heavy with sadness, despair, and anger. But it was a long time ago. Does it really matter? Oh, it matters to the descendants of the dispossessed, who through 5 generations of life memories have learned of the clearances in word and song. Many say that the clearances saved Scotland and gave the dispossessed a much better life. Others say it was ethnic cleansing. But ethnic cleansing is an inadequate way to describe the Highland clearances. Ethnic cleansing is carried out by one nation against another, or one race against another. What makes the clearances unique is that the perpetrators were the landlords who had an ancient responsibility to take care of their own family. The landlords betrayed their own clan. They evicted members of their own family. They dispossessed their own folk. Now, no matter what you think your view is of the clearances, the fact is that it was a cruel and callous way to increase the profits of the landlords. But before we look at how it began, the attitudes, the opinions and the opposition, let us first look at the legacy. Because of the Highland clearances, there are descendants of the dispossessed in every corner of the world. The renowned Scottish diaspora. There are no more Scots outside Scotland than here in Scotland. And those descendants are very proud of their Scottish heritage, and they will demonstrate it at every opportunity. St Andrew's Night. St Andrew's Night is celebrated in every corner of this globe. Tonight, we take you to the closing moments of our St Andrew's Night celebration in modern day Canada.
When the wind is calling, hear the birds are calling, howdy and howdy calling down through the glen. There within the sleeping, I'll feel the blood of leaping. I am the spirit of the old Highland man. Howling campaign, Scotland, my mountain way, I may proud stand gloriously wave. Land of thy endeavour, land of the shining river, land of my forever, upland the babe. When the night is calling, hear the birds are calling, howdy and howdy calling down through the glen. There within the sleeping, now hear the blood of leaping. I am the spirit of the old Highland man. Howling campaign, upland mountain lane, I may in proud standards gloriously wave. Land of my endeavour, land of the shining river, land of my forever, upland the brave.
You mind the lang syne, when the summer days were fine, and the sun shone forth better then than it's ever done since time. And we wandered in the bun, and we cowed every tongue, and got licked for our pains in the morning. What games we played as boys, and you mind the hounds and hares, playing through and fair the scow, because there was a fair, and we'd run Cobourg run, then we'd sneak back into town, but could lick it just the same in the morning. And on Bewley's sunny breeze, oh, we gathered tips and sleighs, we fell among the bramble bushes, tearing our clays, and for fear that we'd be seen, we'd go slipping hame at e'en, and we'd lick it for our pains in the morning. Or when the colours dam, when yon frosty winters come, we'd skate across yon Cullen brink, and made their game a sham, and they chased us through the snow. We made off, billion and all, I get licked just the same in the morning. And before we grew to men, they made us sojourn away. Some fell at hanging tears in Mayor and Suvla Bay, and we folk through mud and glore, and they said, we won yon war. Money's a licking, we'd a take in the morn. Now your bairns have grown up, and the bairns for the sale, and there's young wee curly-headed lad, fuck he makes your life like well yet. Think of days gone by, slip him a sweetie on the sly, he'll get his lickings like the rest in the morning. No life's springtime, it is past, autumn's come at last, summer days have passed away, cold winter's looming fast, but though lang the neck may seem you may sleep without a dream, 'cause you'll wake on a bright and happy morning. No, don't stand there battering that door. I've just got sat down here. I'm not it's on the latch. Come away in. You know you're welcome.
Hello, Mr. Mackenzie.
Oh, hello.
Thank you for seeing us. I'm Morag, and this is my sister Sheena. Mother's just to say hello.
Okay.
How are you keeping?
Okay. There's nothing a new pair of legs wouldn't fix, you know. But I would know you to anywhere. You're Peggy Ross's glasses. You have a look at the Ross's glasses about you. Here on the telephone you said I could help you. Come, tell me what it is.
We're going to visit Scotland next year, and we wondered if you could give us some information about our family history. My mother says you're a great aunt, Amy Ross, really well.
Oh, I know her stories because I've heard them told so many times over and over. My father and my uncles at every family gathering. We all learned that we must never forget where we came from.
Did she talk about Glencalvy?
What do you know about Glencalvy?
Yours is not the only family to pass on stories. What do you remember about Amy?
Oh, I was but a laddie at the time, but I do remember her as a very tall woman with her hair in a bun, wearing high-neck dresses and blouses, and always a lucky rabbit's foot round her neck. She'll be pleased that you're going back to Glencalvy, because she taught us many things, and she taught us that we must never forget our roots, and how as a people we were torn from our land and tossed away like weeds. But she always told us in her stories that the memories were our heritage, and no one could take that from us. And we should always remember that as a people we survive, and that the land lives within us, and that will be our ultimate revenge.
You remember her so well. Tell us more about her.
Oh, as I say, I was just a boy at the time, but she always strived to ensure that the memories lived on within us. And you know, when she spoke of the old days in Scotland, her hand would go to that lucky rabbit's foot, and she would caress it. And that seemed to transport her through time. It was her window into the future. It was her stories that took me to Glencalvy. When I was in Europe for the First War, I went to the church, and I stood there where those poor people had camped. And I touched the window where their names are scratched in the glass. I touched that window, and I looked down the glen and down to the broch. I was alone, but I was not lonely. I could feel both in me and around me the spirits of the folk your aunt used to speak about. But here, did you not ask me on the telephone to get a book for you?
Yes. You said to us you had some papers or a journal that Amy had left with your family.
Well, that's right. I went and I looked it out for you before you came. Here it is. You will see. It's written in her own copper plate handwriting.
Amy Ross, Glencalvy, 1846. What beautiful writing. How
always strive to ensure that the memories of the sadness and the betrayal and the pride lived on and remained vibrant. And I must tell you that if you think you are going to Glencalgie for a nice afternoon stroll in the church garden, do not think that. The memories of that sadness and that treachery still tears at my heart.
This book belongs to Amy Ross, born 1834 at Tummelcroft, High Hill, Glencalgie, Ross-shire, Scotland, subject to Queen Victoria. When we left the glen, the gorse was yellow, but the beasts had gone, and the birds had flown. The colour still lights my eye, but the silence of the land and the folks who marched away scars my heart and draws me to that place.
Oh, the broom, the bonny bonny, the broom o' the cowden nose. Then would I be in my ain country, tending my daddy's ewes. Blithe I was each morn to see my love come o'er the hill. He left the barn and he flew to me. I met him where goodwill. Oh, the broom, the bonny bonny, the broom o' the cowden nose. Then would I be in my ain country, tending my daddy's ewes. Farewell, ye cowden nose, farewell the pleasures there. Dero magan my lot by my side is all I want or care. Oh, the broom, the bonny bonny, the broom o' the cowden nose. Then would I be in my ain country, tending my daddy's ewes. Far away in the other land, where the soft hill rain falls, where the rivers run a velvet brown, and the curlew softly calls. But the curlew's cries will not be heard by those who wait to hear. The empty glen will echo back, and the rivers run with tears.
But surely you must have had some happy memories.
Oh yes, of course. There was the church practice. They were lots of fun. Of course, we couldn't practice in the church. That would have been seen as sacrilege, since we weren't at worship. So every Thursday night, we would practice in Tam Mackenzie, the beadle's barn. And in the winter, he'd set out a brazier, and we'd all sit around at the social gatherings, with lots of laughter. But of course, we couldn't sing the proper words, so we had to sing parodies instead.
Would you sing one for us, Amy?
If I can remember. We beadle Tam Mackenzie, he is very, very thin. His wife, she licks up all the green. Come on, masters, you try this too.
Grandpa Ross is always cheery. We wondered why his nose was red.
That's because he hides his ear.
And whiskey underneath the bed.
Grandpa Ross is always cheery. We wondered why his nose was red. underneath the bed.
Oh, I see you've noticed my talisman and the memories it evokes. I can never see a fire without thinking of the one outside the shelter at Croyt Church. Shelter. Shelter. It was cobbled together with wood, plaids and tarpaulins. But we all gathered round the fire to keep us warm. We're all there, the men, the women, and the children. I can see them still in the flames. Oh, my journal, can I look at it? I remember I wrote a poem or something about it. Oh, here it is. I'd never seen my father cry till the day he left the glen. Weeping was for women, not strong, silent men. From the hills they watched us walk away, heads low in shameful fear. The psalms they sang ran through the glen, mingled with our fear. We learnt that day it matters not who owns the land or gold. A people's worth is in their heart, burned deep within their soul. No factor, landlord, duke or fool can stop a people flourish. The land is gone, but the blood runs true, and we still have our courage. We believed in reason and justice for our cause. Our landlords and betters may have deserted us, but we still had our advocates and leaders, and in our time, the Lord sent us our Moses.
When it first begun, I was assured it was a mistake. After all, hadn't Major Charles Robertson himself told me that he would not remove the people? Yes, Minister, he said, so long as they continue to pay their current rent, I will not turn out our poor people. I believed him then, and I still do. If only he had not been away in Australia with his regiment, this would have never happened. Would have never come to pass.
Our church believed in our cause, and the newspapers told our stories in Edinburgh, Glasgow, and of all places, London.
Thomas Campbell Foster, London Times. It was too good a story to miss. When my editor received word from a group of northern gentlemen, headed by a Free Church minister, to publicise the plight of 88 people about to be made homeless in Glencalvy, well, I was sent north straight away. I have to say, with Europe in revolutionary turmoil, I would have much rather be in Paris than Rothschild. But I have to admit that the pieces I sent back from Glencalvy to London remain the most poignant I've ever written. Great cruelties were perpetuated at Glencalvy Rothschild, where the evicted had to retire into the parish churchyard. There, for more than a week, they found the only shelter obtainable in their native land. No one dared to succour them, under a threat of receiving similar treatment to those whose hard fate had driven them thus among the tombs. For those who remember the earlier clearances, as they're known here, will recall how the ancient ties between clansmen and clan chiefs were torn asunder. It requires little but fair treatment for those living on the land to almost idolise their heritor. Indeed, many would spill their last drop of blood in his service, but these loyal attachments were fast passing away.
I readily shared their burden in the mistaken belief that the day when they would have to leave would never come to pass. How misguided was I? Did I give them false hope? When the newspapers and support started to arrive by way of donations, they felt cheered that strangers cared enough to give for their relief. I read the English newspaper reports to them, but rather I should have prepared them from the beginning for this outcome, an outcome I never dared imagine would come to pass.
You're wondering when these clearances began. Some say it began after Culloden, but it had been going on for 100 years before then. Oh, the landlords were very pleasant about it. They said, oh look, there are too many of you here in this land to make a reasonable living. Let us move you to a better place, and you will have a much better life. But after Charlie and Culloden, they soon dropped any pretense of pleasantry. They still wanted all the land. But the truth of the matter is that the Highlands had to be brought under the heel. Well, there were many of us, and our chieftains had great power, but we were a warrior nation, and as such we... No, but what you really want to know is when it began here at Glencairn. Oh, let me see, it must have been, oh yes, it was a good 3 years before the evictions that they issued the final eviction notices. Well, that must have been 1842.
When they first came to me for guidance, I wrote to Mr. James Gallanders, factor. I told him of my conversation with Major Robertson. I had hoped that he might take the lesson to heart. I wrote to him in these terms. I have the letter here. Let me see. You have it here. If the offer of another is preferred, and theirs refused, these 88 souls will be set adrift without knowing where to go to look for shelter. At home, there is almost no prospect of them procuring any place, and to emigrate would prove to most of them total misery. After reaching any of the colonies, they would not have the wherewithal to support themselves. I sincerely hope that they will not be set adrift, but that the example of the Good Samaritan will be followed towards them. I believed him to be a man of position, God-fearing, and honest in his dealings. I thought that he would show compassion on these good people. Indeed, it seemed that he had a change of heart when he wrote in his reply. I have it here. Yes. He said, I have given this matter my tender consideration, and that should they agree to pay a higher rent, then they could secure their lands. Well, though already paying a substantial rent, they agreed to an increase and instructed me to arrange a meeting with James Gallanders. Oh, the true nature of a man is revealed in his actions. And before the meeting could take place, sheriff's officers were in the glen to serve notices to quit. Now, the women folk of the glen were there to meet them, and they had been making their own plans. Come by the hills to a land where fancy is free. Stand where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea. Where the rivers run clear, Bracken is golden sun, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to a land where life is a song. Stand where the birds fill the air with their joy all day long, where the trees sway in time, even the wind sings in tune, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to a land where legends remain, stories of old fill the hearts and may yet come again, where the past has been lost, future is still to be won, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done. Come by the hills to a land where fancy is free. Stand where the peaks meet the sky and the lochs meet the sea, where the rivers run clear, Bracken is gold in the sun, and the cares of tomorrow must wait till this day is done.
Oh, hello, Jean. How are you? As you can see, I'm just back from the market.
Oh, did you sit, Mary? Did you have a good day? Did you see my child? He took the piglets to market this morning, and he's awful late.
Aye, I passed him on the way here. His donkey's well laden with goods. Must have made a good sale. It's a good job that beast knows its way up the glen. Anyway, I better be off now, on my way.
He's a bonny lad, aye, a bonny, bonny lad. Oh, oh, bonny lassie,
It's you, bonny lassie, me. You're late. And where's the donkey?
Oh, he's down the cliff. He knows his way home. No need to worry about him.
Where's the list?
The list? Oh, aye, the list. Oh, I'll put this up. Here, no, wait a minute. I'll put it down there. I don't know where. There you are. You sure you gave me a list?
Yes, I'm sure I gave you a list.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Sick man.
How many people? There it is. Here. It got a wee bit crumpled. Sorry about that.
Did you get all the stores?
Oh, I got all the stores. I got a good price for the piglets, and I got some wee extras. I got some lovely ribbons for you.
Don't want any of your giggles. And did you get the paraffin? That's the important thing.
Oh, I got the paraffin. No, I got everything. I got everything. Here, I forgot the paraffin.
Goodness sake, that's why I gave you the list. Oh, can you not read?
Oh, I can read. Don't bother to me. I can read.
Here,
I should
what's
have got
this
that
then?
paraffin. I didn't get that paraffin.
Oh,
What is that? That's my whiskey, my winter supply from wheezy chest.
well, you'll not be needing this rubbish. I'll poultice your chest with henpeck.
Oh dear me. What will I do? What will I do?
What will you do?
Oh, gee.
Man, you're a proper waste of space. Look, I gave you that list. Can you not read or spell? Look,
Oh,
here it
no.
is.
I can read it.
Paraffin. P-A-R-A-F-I-N.
I understand, and I can read and I can spell. See there? Paraffin. There's two F's in paraffin. And there's no F in whiskey. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Remember, I must go home. Now you know the tune and you know the words, so you join in and help. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Remember, I must go home. Now here, you can help me out a wee bit, as you know. She doesn't know about it. She thinks that I'm still in there. But I've got to get into the quiet, you know. So you sing it with me, very, very softly. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Oh, whiskey, leave me alone. Remember, I must go home.
The men say the eviction notices are to be served today.
Who's behind me then? No one's in the plural. Why do they want us out?
They want to clear the glen, put their own sheep there, and then they got their own shepherds. They say there are too many of us, and we've got too many bairns
Are there shepherds among us?
who think the same as we do about sheep.
Our bairns are a blessing, and they'll work for the factor one day. Does he not like children?
He likes his Aaron. Balfour's got more than I do. He's had 7 in the past 9 years.
It won't take much to do with them.
No, like everything else, takes his...
Now listen, the men want us to stop the sheriff and the constables on the brig. They think if they form a line of us behind the fire, we can stop them. They think if we go along, the men can argue they've not been serving us. And as women, we own nothing.
So is everybody here then? Good. Oh well, I've sent Moira off to the Beagles to get the brazier.
I'll not block the brig.
No, but if we put it in the middle and the water's flowing underneath, remember they can only serve the writ on dry land.
But we can't bring
here, Jean. And then that way, when they come to hand the papers over, we'll make the fire nice and hot.
Oh,
Right, let's go. Let's get. Is everybody here? Stand here.
Oh, what a fine welcome, what a fine body to welcome into this land. Now, today I'm looking for the men folk. Where are they?
They're at work. They're out on the hill. They've got work to do. What do you want?
Well, there's no need to be aggressive, woman. I'm just here doing my job. The job my employer pays me to do. So, I best explain something to you all. I have the law by my side. So, in fact, the sheriff's people are with me today. I left them further down the lane. So, for now, but one signal for me and they will be joining me right here. So, keep that in mind.
Is this the one with the 7 bairns? No need to turn the collar.
Well, I believe that he wants to join the ministry. And if he wants to join the ministry, he'll have to turn his breeks, will his parents?
But are you the leader? Step forward.
He's full of himself.
Careful.
Watch out, he's trying to serve the papers! Leave my arms and get it back! That will have consequences.
Well done, lasses. All seeing that.
No, you don't. Burning, running from Glencowie, Warsaw, the sheriff coming, Warsaw, and run a war, Warsaw, his streets are burning, running from Glencowie, We cheered and we laughed. They learned their lesson, but we didn't. When they came back, they cleared the glen. But in the papers, they fell on our story with glee. The shepherd's crook became an arsenal of spears thrown by the warlike witches of the glen. The poor sheriff's men retreated from the glen. But we laughed and we cheered and we celebrated.
Yay!
When the eagles are soaring high over the glen and the golfers are rolling along, although from their lands it remains, and one day they will come home again. Sanjiva, return to the glorious land. Sanjiva, live in our lands once again.
Captain, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to embark on the interval, during which we will have a raffle, so please buy some raffle tickets if you haven't done so already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got some fantastic, life-changing gifts. Prizes to be won. So who's going to take the first one? And the first lucky winner of a box of After Eights, which legitimately...
She knows where she's going. She knows who's gone with her. She knows who she loves, and the dear knows who she'll marry. She has stockings of silk, shoes of bright green leather, combs to buckle her hair, and a ring for every finger. Oh, feather beds are soft, painted rooms are bonny. She will give them all for a handsome, winsome Johnny. Some say he is poor, but she says he is bonny. Fairest of them all is her handsome, winsome Johnny.
Isn't it about time? I'll come back later.
Where you been? I've been waiting here for ages for you.
You knew I was going to the market, and you haven't been waiting here ages, because I've been here already. Oh, Malky, you had such a nice time at the fair, and I brought you something special. There were jelly, I think, stalls, and there was even a man with a dancing bear. Jenny says she saw your mother telling your father off doing at the brig. You're not still in a huff about last night, are you? I hope you saw him to marry me.
No, no, it's not that. No, it's not that that's bothering me. It's all this talk of evictions. We turned out and we've nowhere to go.
Well, that's for something special. Look at this. There was a man at the fair and he was telling us how wonderful it was to live in Canada. But he wasn't just saying it. Look here for yourself.
Free land for everybody after you serve 4 years.
There you go. 4 years is nothing.
The land is rich, timber and water in abundance. Cattle flourish on, is that a word? Verdant grass. Salmon leap out of the water into your hands, and you share the bounty of the river with the wild bears.
That's true. There was a man at the fair and he was feeding the bear fish.
And the sweet syrup of the maple tree is free for everybody to take. The only thing that missed out there is on flying pigs.
There you go again. You're always the same. Will he go with me or not?
Aye. But lassie, will you go with me?
Oh, the summer days come, trees are sweetly blooming, wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Could he go as he go, and we'll all go will build my love a bar by yon cool crystal fountain. On it I will shower all the wildflowers, for the mountain will ye go, lassie go, and we'll all go together, take a wild mountain time, all around the moon and heather, will ye go, lassie go. If my true love she were gone, I'd surely find another, where the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together, keep a wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie, go, and we'll all go together, take a wild mountain time all around the blooming heather. Will ye go, lassie? Will ye go, lassie? Will ye go, lassie, go?
Is everybody there?
Ah, come away in. Go in. The door's open. You're always welcome.
Oh, geez, I didn't see you there in the darkness.
What's this? If you're used to bright palaces, you must be the man from the London Times that has helped us with our cause.
You know of my work. Yes, I'm Thomas Campbell Foster. You must be Robert Ross.
Oh, that's myself, but it's a long time since I was known as Robert. I am Rob to my friend.
Oh, I come as a friend.
Then you are doubly welcome.
The smell in here catches my throat. The smoke is quite pungent.
What is this? A man from London telling me that has walked the stink of London streets, that my house smells. Man, in London you drink your own wastewater every day.
Obviously you're a man of the world, and well, you would have read my reports I've sent from Glen Cowley to those who would drink their own waste. Now, will you help me find an answer as to why this has happened?
There is only one answer, and that is that there is no answer. There's only one long-lasting sadness.
Yes, I realise that. But can you tell me why? Why are your people to be dispossessed? Are you not well?
It's not that I am unwell. I am old, and I will not move from this place. I am 82 years of age, and my life is softly and smoothly coming to its end. That's why I would never join that damned exodus. I will die here before they break me. Until then, I will sit by an open door and watch the beauty of the glen and marvel at its mystical changes of mood.
You've lived here all your life. No wonder you care for the place.
Why, here, this land is spirited deep in my heart. I have travelled the world more than most, Mr. Campbell Foster. Perhaps even more than yourself. And I have seen many bonny lands, but none was the beauty of Glen Cowley. It's deep in my heart. Okay, but you know, there is nothing new in all of this. They've been culling the islands, for 100 years.
There was a soldier, a Scottish soldier, who wandered far away, soldier far away. Was none bolder, with good broad shoulder, who fought in many a fray, fought and won. He'd seen the glory, he battles glorious, he's victorious. Need his sign, his heart is crying to leave these green hills of Tyrol. And then these green hills are not Highland hills, not the islands hills, they're just my land's hills. Green as these green forest hills can be, they are not the hills of home. And now the soldier, the Scottish soldier, who wandered far away, soldiered far away, sees leaves are falling, and death is calling, and he will fade away at their land. Called his piper, his trusty piper, and bade him sound a lay, a pibroch sad to play, on a hillside, a Scottish hillside, not on these settled hills of Tyrol. Because those green hills are not Highland hills, not the islands hills, they're not my land's hills. Green as these green forest hills be, they are not the hills of home. And now the soldier, the Scottish soldier, will wander far no more, soldier far no more. On a hillside, a Scottish hillside, you'll hear a piper play soldier home. He's seen the glory, he's told the story of battles glorious, deeds victorious. You will cease now, he is at peace now, far from those green hills of Tyrol. Because those green hills are not Highland hills, not the islands hills, they're just my land's hills. Green as these green forest hills be, they are not the hills of home. And those green hills are not Highland hills, not the islands hills, they're just my land's hills. Green as these green forest hills may be, they are not the hills of home.
What then? After the 45?
Oh, after Charlie and the 45, they still wanted our land. Then they said, oh, there are so many of you, and you have too many children, too many children. But you see, in that as in so many other things, we simply followed the example of our betters, and they breed like rabbits. But they wanted our land, but they did not want us. So they told us to get out, and so go we must.
New life elsewhere. Well, sounds quite reasonable.
Aye, but that was when they started to pay for and encourage all the posters and the pamphlets and the newspaper adverts, even sermons in the kirk and gossip in the marketplace, all extolling the virtues of a new life in a beautiful land across the sea. May seem reasonable, doesn't it? But you see, the landlords are very good at being seen as reasonable and righteous, and yet they think nothing about us at all. They want the land for themselves, and they will take it from us. You know, they have spent a great deal of time telling the world that we are a people, as a people, are lazy and evil, and always interfering with their right to do what they want with their own property. And you see, to them the land is property, but to us our land is the staff of life.
They have told me that you are wicked and self-seeking people, that you refuse to see the benefits and change, and that they've done everything they can to make moving Well, easy for everyone.
Oh, why? You speak, Mr. Campbell Foster, as if in moving and eviction there was a choice. There was not. In fact, it was not even just moving or eviction. It was the willful destruction of a people and a way of life and a culture that has been on these glens for centuries. The destruction of a people who for 500 years have cultivated this land and made it what it is today. A people who never harmed a soul and have never owed a penny to anyone and still do not even owe a farthing. A people who through loyalty to their clan went without question with us to fight the wars of their chieftain. Many of our people died. Oh, that loyalty. And what is our reward? Our reward is to be driven from the land like the very beasts they intend to replace us with. Oh, Mr. Campbell Foster, you will know of Robert Burns. He says it better than I.
Is there for honest poverty that hangs his heed in Arad? The coward slave would pass him by, would dare be poor for a' that. For a' that and a' that were toils obscure and a' that. Rank is but the guinea's stamp, the man's the gowd for a' that.
So you see, Mr. Campbell Foster, as always, he who pays the piper calls the tune.
But you left the Glen. I mean, did you take their money? If so, what have you now to berate the landlords?
I never took a penny. I went a different way. I did take the king's shilling. My brothers accepted the offer. And no shame to them. And they went to Canada. The letters home told us that they were still poor, but in spite of that, they were respected by one and all. I had seen that respect for all when I served in the Americas later on. And then even that, I did watch the landlords, how rapacious they could be. Then as a sergeant in India, I served and fought at the Battle of Assaye under Wellington. He was not a Duke then. But later, that battle was won because the Battle of Assaye won India for the British Empire. I watched the British nabobs. You will have encountered them yourself. I watched these landlords, these British nabobs, conspire to steal and rip anything from India that was very large. And all for development. All for development. And you know, these landlords, they will do the same here. They will take it from us. You know, they live over the hill there, and anything they have because men like me died, and it is our blood that gave them that. And yet they still want to take from us what is a very meagre living. For what? Oh, for silver gold. Silver and gold for their own benefit. Oh, and of course, all for the good of the country. Always the good of the country. And Mr. Campbell Foster, whose country? Jesus said, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. And Mr. Campbell Foster, the trouble here is that all the mansions are taken. I know that many of my people will move because their faith tells them that they must. Others will go because they know that their God will look after them wherever they are. But I do know that the seed of my people has been broadcast throughout the world, and it will fall fertile ground. The descendants of my people, they will know of the lives within them, and they will come here, and they will stand here, and they will look at the glen, and they will ask, why? But there is no answer. I do not know what this glen will look like in 200 years' time. But I do know that they will know of Lone Calvary, and they will love it. And they will come here, and they will stand here. And I can assure you that they will come home.
all their songs you can hear the strains and tonalities similar to today's Scottish songs. The character travelled with them and would return to us even richer than before.
As usual, you're romanticising. In the new lands, they had homes and foods, and a place in the communities they helped to build.
So you agree they were content?
Content to material things, yes. However, life is much more than that. You must also feed the heart and the soul. But these poor people, torn from their land, they thought they must have committed some dreadful sin to be treated so. And that's why they gave themselves the name of the wicked generation. And whilst today we're constantly in touch with friends and relations all across the world through modern communication. Not so for these poor people. They were separated on the quayside as they had no choice as to which ship they embarked upon. In addition, some of them had to watch helplessly as their loved ones took ill on the voyage, and some were even buried at sea. They soon learned that they had lost all touch with each other as the ships set sail for destinations across the world, some as far away as New Zealand. But they still had their dreams and their memories of the Glen, and they taught their children that one day they would return and be reunited with their lost families and the lost lands. Our next song is a sample of the music that awaited them in their new homelands. Music that they soon learned to know and to love. Oh,
As I said, the true nature of a man is revealed in his actions, not in his words. This is a truth I was to learn when Mr. James Galanders invited representatives of the people to a meeting in Tain. They thought they were going to agree the rent increases. However, once there, and without representation, they were tricked, and notices to quit were finally served upon them. The unthinkable had happened. In these days of great progress and forward thinking, decent, hard-working, honest people were to be dispossessed and left to starve, all in the name of improvement. Still, I counselled them to tread carefully, not to break the law, but to comply with the writs, for fear that they would land themselves in deeper trouble still by resisting.
By the honour of addressing Mr. Gillanders.
Oh, you must be the London gentleman that's been causing so much trouble for myself and my employer. The honour, you may not think of it as an honour, as your newspaper has been stirring up so much disquiet as we go about our lawful business.
Lawful perhaps, but of a dubious quality. Do you not care for the people, sir?
Ah, I see. You believe your own scribblings in your newspaper. Well, may I assure you, Mr. Thomas Campbell Foster, that the truth is very different. Very, very different indeed to what the perception that you may have. These are an indolent, lazy, backward people. They care nothing for advancement. Nearly all of them don't speak a word of English. They neither read nor write. No doubt your scribblings have been translated to and read to them so that they can follow them. They absolutely resist all change and advancement.
You will agree that they've always met your rent increases.
If ever I heard an argument for our generosity and leniency, it is that one that we have been pitching the rent far too low.
Europe is in the throes of revolution, and here in the Highlands you behave like some medieval robber baron.
Revolution, Mr. Campbell Foster, revolution. There'll be no talk of revolution now that Wellington is Prime Minister.
He also said that the working classes will tie you up in legislation.
This is Scotland, not England, Mr. Campbell Foster. Sutherland set the precedent. Nowhere is land rights and property rights so well protected as here in Scotland. You are, Mr. Campbell Foster, an educated man. You will therefore realise the Highlands are overpopulated and much in need of advancement, development. And yet every time we wish to make improvements, they are resisted. And we cannot go on subsidising and supporting these idle peasants every time their crops fail because it's been a hard winter.
It is my understanding, Mr. Gillanders, that they have never received any support from your employer. Indeed, they support their own, poor and unfortunate. They pay for a teacher for their children, none of whom are on the poor roll. Neither do they resort to illegal means to support themselves, which many may have done. In short, they are not, nor have they ever been, dependent on your employer. There is no justification in that argument, Mr. Gillanders.
Mr. Campbell Foster, may I remind you that a man has the right to dispose and to do with his property as he sees fit. One day you and these snivelling peasants will bless my name and the name of my employer for our generosity and our ambition.
And one day, Mr. Gillanders, hell will freeze over. It was a most wretched spectacle, watching those 88s leave the glen. Carts full of children, many of them mere infants. Other carts carrying their bedding and other requisites. The whole countryside up on the hill watching them as they steadily took possession of their tent. It was just yesterday when I watched them all leave. The mother carrying her baby, sitting with her two children on a cart carrying their few possessions. I watched them all trudge out of the glen for the final time. They came to the bridge, stopped and took one last look at their home. Then with heavy steps they walked onwards to the church, where they set up their temporary shelter in the cemetery. That they should be reduced to this is shameful. I mean, the men took it hard. I mean, they all did. But a man must provide a roof and shelter for his wife and children. None of them can do that now. They are empty, angry souls. When they arrived at the cemetery, the men set up a fire for warmth and cooking. The children, as children do, played amongst the headstones. The women fixed the tent and prepared bedding for the children before the cold night air came in. All of them busying themselves. They didn't have to think or talk of tomorrow or the rest of their tomorrows.
Hugh has gone to lie down with the children to try and settle them. He may go to sleep, but he'll not rest, not tonight. Many's the time I have watched him sleep peacefully. This afternoon, I wrote a poem for him to show that I share his sorrows. Let me read it to you. You sleep as on so many nights before. I lie and watch you breathe, searching for familiar comfort in your flaw where no beard grows. My eyes caress the well-known form, where cheeks merge into jaw. Yet, on this night you are different to me. More time has passed upon your face. Its mark scores deeper in. Worries that dance across your skin make eyelids flicker and restless lips, the lips that took my very first kiss. But now they do not speak of courage lost and strength that's gone. My love for you hears your fears. That time and battle have sapped your might. I want to tell you, my beautiful oak, that we can start again, like the acorn that grows within. I'm concerned about old Duthie. She's lost her reasoning, and this has made her much worse. She sits and sways back and forth all day and hums Gallic airs. And then she'll look up and smile at someone who's passing that only she can see. And that's scary in a cemetery. Over here, by walls, is the graveyard of my mother and father. I thank the Lord that he has taken them away before today.
What would their forebears say if they could see them now? Paupers. Homeless, hopeless paupers. They were always told that though they had no money, they had their pride and dignity. They had their land. They were of the land. But the landlords have taken that from them now. They have taken all that makes them who they are. How can a man stand as a man when he has no work, he has no beasts to tend, or land to till, when his wife and children are sleeping in the cold rain in the cemetery?
Dear Lord, I dread the coming of the morning. I and all the other mornings that follow. Hovan, hovan, koreo, 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 hovan, hovan, koreo. I've lost my darling baby, oh. I left my baby lying here, lying here, lying
mountain mist, the mountain mist, the mountain mist. I found the trail of the mountain mist, but not a trace of baby O. Oh, and oh, and oh, I lost my darling baby.
She's a funny lass, a bunny wee lass, a bunny wee dream of all. I get a mother's engagement, bringing a bunny wee top and show. It's a little water in the cold for it to fall. When I was the best man, and she was a belle of the ball. She's a funny lass, a bunny wee lass, a bunny wee dream of all. I get a mother's engagement, bringing a bunny wee top and show. Met her at the water in the cold for it to fall. When I was the best man, she was the belle of the ball.
Did you manage to bring to photographs?
Ach, I have been up and at it, Ash. It's milking time this morning. I didn't ruin them up.
Aye, so who's coming?
Well, they're all coming. They're all coming, yes. I was just coming. Yeah. And, Bob, he's going to bring his fiddle. Because, well, you know, with all this going on, folk will need cheering up. And the wifeys, they're all bringing a basket, right?
No, Dad's still on bake, started baking already.
Aye. And Cameron Chisholm said that, well, we'll no we need to wait in case somebody comes up with a miracle to turn the water into wine. He's brewing up a few kegs at his still.
I hope it's not just whiskey.
Oh, no. No, he's made some of that bramble and dock and wine. Oh, give me a wee try of it. Two very took the legs from under me. I was fine and floated back home here.
I hope you're not going to turn out like your father.
No, but so long as you're not going to end up as sharp-tongued as some mother of mine.
But she's a baby lass, a bunny lass, a bunny wee dream of all. I get my mother's engagement, bringing a bunny wee top and show. I met her at the wagon in the Coparita Ball. When I was the best man, and she was the belle of the ball. The first day I saw her, she was awfully shy. The Indian moon, but she was happy, so was I. We ran like mad for shelter, and we landed up a stair. The Indian moon into my big spit up, but didn't get for she's a wee lass, a bunny wee lass, a bunny wee dream of all. I get my mother's engagement, bringing a bunny wee top and shawl. Met her in the water and the Coparita Ball. When I was the best man, and she was the belle of the ball. Well, you were Jeannie and obey and the sea of me. Got up us and the wee followed and since upon my knee. The left wheel lead tears and the never stole my line. The gentle said in the lesson while I sang to them the sang for she's a wee lass, a bunny wee dream of all. I get my mother's engagement, bringing a bunny wee top and shawl. Met her in the water and the Coparita Ball. When I was the best man, and she was the belle of the ball.
That Sunday, like all others, we gathered to worship amid God's greatest creation on his hillside. people attended the service that day. 88 of them were living in that wretched tent in Croik churchyard. Yet, the women folk were all neatly turned out with their net caps and their plaids, and the men wore their best bonnets. The simple dignity of my flock deserved an uplifting service. I spent long hours deliberating over the choice of psalms and readings for that service. In the end, I chose a truly defiant song of praise, a truly holy hymn that shows that no matter what disaster befalls us, God is ever present, ever mindful of our trials, and only in true acceptance of Him will we overcome all.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Many dangers, toils, and snares we have already come. 'Twas grace that brought us safe thus far, and grace will lead us home.
After the service, I stood on the hillside for a while with Mr. Campbell Foster as we watched these 88 lost souls make their way down to that churchyard hovel.
Had any such clearances occurred in England, Reverend Ed, the excitement it would cause would be nothing short of mob processions, effigy burnings, and the smashing of windows, by which every instigator and instrument in so heartless a scene would be reminded that there are principles of action which are thought more worthy and more honourable, and which makes living amongst one's fellows more pleasurable than mere money grubbing.
His be the blessings pronounced by heaven on those who would consider the poor. Lord, forgive these poor sinners gathered here before you today. Amen.
My words here are for you, as yet unborn descendant of these peoples, who will read of these events and visit the empty glens and straths of the north. Come to Croik and visit the small church sitting at the bend of the river and bear witness to your ancestors. Come to Glen Calvy and walk where they walked and lived for hundreds of years. Come and learn of the clearances carried out against your people, and hear of the harshness of these events in the name of improvement. As history affords you the benefit of hindsight, you will now know the outcome of your ancestors, an outcome I cannot today imagine. You will read this and know the facts, But the heart of a story, of a time or a place, is always in its people. And know this of your people, through the eyes of their minister and their friend, that they were honest, religious, proud, and kind, that they cared for one another, that they helped their poor and unfortunate, that they lived and worked on these lands for nearly 500 years, and then they were removed. If you are able, come to the church and stand where they stood and read their words scratched into the east window, and stand in silence and hear them talk to you down through the years.
When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we roll as days to sing God's praise. And when we first begun, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Just a wee word, just to say thank you very much for coming along. And without yourselves,